welcome back to another edition of the Pitch Putt and Puff podcast. My name is Roger, aka RGB. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Before we get rolling, though, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. First, we got to give a shout out to golferscbd.com. Make sure you guys check out golferscbd.com. Use promo code PPP10 at checkout to save yourself 10%. What they're doing is introducing a range of naturally sourced products, enhancing golfers' playing skills and capability during their training process, game preparation, performance, and relaxation. Developed and produced by golfers for golfers. Used and supported by performance and professional golfers across the U.S. and Europe. Golfer CBD is manufactured right here in the U.S. Make sure you check them out. Like I said, promo code PPP10 to save yourself 10% at checkout. Also, if you're local here in the 518, make sure you check out 420 Bliss. Located at 740 Hoosick Road, right up in the Walmart Plaza. Stop in there, let them know the Pitch Putt Puff crew sent you. They got everything you're looking for: flowers, pre-rolls, edibles, vapes, tinctures. They got the drinks up there. Everything you're looking for. Stop in there, check them out. Let them know the Pitch Putt Puff crew sent you. If you can't get up there, they do have a delivery service. Go online at www.420-bliss.com. Check them out. They have a delivery service, and they'll bring it right to you. Also, you got to check out Trouble Off the Tee, troubleoffthetea.com. Promo code RGB for 15% off, as well as buy one, get one free on the polos. Use promo code PUFF. Check out the book on Spotify and Audible, now available on Audible. Trouble Off the Tee, author is Marty Minden, narrated by Jake Adams from Country Club Adjacent. Make sure you go and support Marty. And it's a dope book, like I always say. Literally got through it in about 2 days. Always tell you guys it's one of those books, or what you're listening to, where you're taking the extra lap around the block before you get out of the car, just to hear the end of the chapter. But make sure you go check them out. RGB for 15% off, and promo code PUFF for buy one, get one free on the polos. We'll take a quick break here, and then we'll get into our guest. Welcome back to another edition of the Pitch Putt Puff podcast. My name is Roger, aka RGB. What we're doing tonight is winning something different. I got Donald from Kingsmen Golf. What's up, Donald? Welcome to the podcast.
Yo, what's up, everybody? What's good? What's good to the East Coast from the West Coast?
Yes, sir. Yeah, upstate New York, out there to Cali. Donald's on the golf course right now, so that's what we're doing, a little bit different here, a live interview from the course. Yeah.
A little something different.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into golf?
You know, I'm a post-pandemic golfer. I discovered that after the 2020, everything shut down, gym shut down, basketball courts indoors at my gym shut down. And I ended up playing in 2021 for the very, very first time with a couple of guys, and one of them was actually from the Bahamas. And so he had been playing his whole life. And, you know, we went to college together, so very competitive, especially when it came to basketball. So I'm big at golf, you know, it shouldn't be that hard, you know. I'm in the elite at that point because I've been working at home during the pandemic, and I thought, oh, this shouldn't be hard at all, right? Which is what everybody says before they play.
Especially if you're an
athlete. Of course,
athlete.
you know, I'm chunking. Oh my gosh, it was ridiculous. You know what happened? You already know what, you know. Balls in the water, dirt everywhere, looking silly. People, you know, staring at us because I'm swinging like I'm, you know, throwing shot put at the Olympics.
Been there.
But I fell in love with it. That was it, Roger. I fell in love with it, bro. It was like at that moment, the beauty of the environment, and you kind of lose yourself in the mix of everything going on. You kind of lose yourself in the mix of, you know, just being out on the course with really good people, and ends up being just like a really, really great time.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's how the whole Pitch Putt Puff even really started. Is just going out and playing with the boys and just being around good people. You know, same group of guys every Sunday. There's 8 of us out there, and it's like it's such a close knit group of friends to where it's like we all look forward. We go play, you know, a bunch of times during the week, but everybody, it don't matter until Sunday. So that's the cool thing about it, you know.
And it just becomes that consistent thing that you look forward to like every week.
Yep, absolutely. So how'd you get into the clothing side of things? Tell us a little bit
Now
about Kingsman.
that's a little different. I have a background in product and graphic design, and I've been working as a designer for a long, long time. I started my career actually over a decade ago as an intern at Coca-Cola. I used to work on some of the programs that Coca-Cola was really pushing at that time, especially with Sprite, with LeBron, and with 50 Cent on Minute Water.
Mm-hmm.
And, who were extremely good about the importance of graphic design and visual design, especially when it comes to marketing a product.
Mm-hmm.
So, I always feel like I've had a very good eye, not fashion, like that's not my background, but marketing campaigns and really just like what looks good on people. So all that to say, when I started playing golf, everything I saw out there was just either extremely street or extremely like boring. Like it felt like it
Right.
was either something that like was forgettable. Like I would never spend like 85, 90, $105 on like the most boring, or it felt like streetwear. Like I might as well be rocking like streetwear from some other brand, not from like a golf brand saying like I golf.
Right.
And I didn't see anything out there that really felt like it connected with like the post-pandemic golfer. So somebody who wasn't, necessarily, and I'm not hating on the country clubs, but someone who didn't grow up playing golf, um, someone who is, you have a 9 to 5 or you have a business, you're not golfing, every day of the week or every other day of the week. It might be 3 or 4 times a month. It might be when you can get to the range. You got work you got to take care of. And so I wanted to create a brand that really connected with the post-pandemic golfer, like new to golf. You're understanding the mental health aspects of the game, like what it gives you. You're understanding how it gives you community and lets you make connections and network for business. And I'm like, where's that brand? Where's that brand that I can like really resonate with? And I didn't see it. Um, so long story short, I decided to take a huge risk. I've always wanted to be a business owner, and I wanted to see if I could pull it off. I wanted to see, could I challenge myself and figure out how to start a company. And so last year, because we're coming up on our 1 year anniversary, I was like, let's go. Let's really go after it.
Nice. Congrats. That's awesome, man.
Thank you.
Because it's especially like luckily having the graphic design part of it. That's a big thing. Obviously, making the designs and coming up with the logos and doing all that kind of shit. Because that was the hardest thing for me, making my logo. I'm still struggling with the logo. I got no idea what I want to do with it because I got to be careful getting shadow banned because of the golf ball smoking a joint. So I got this background. It's a whole headache for me. But now that you're and it's good too because you're passionate about what you're doing, so it doesn't even feel like work.
No, in fact, right now I'm wearing one of my shirts. I'm out here with one of my guys, one of our early customers, and when I'm doing work, it truly does feel like it's not work. It really feels like somehow I'm able to get paid for this. Oh, is it time yet? I'm gonna go.
Go ahead, man.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Taking a moment.
Go ahead. We'll pause it quick. Yep, we'll take a quick break. And we're good. Yeah, all right. Yeah, we'll get your shot on there for sure. But now, how difficult is so the golf market, especially post pandemic? I love that term too because there is a lot of like I've interviewed a lot of post pandemic golfers, and it's a difficult market to get into, especially in the clothing and that side of things. So, like, what do you find yourself like? What makes your Kingsmen really stand out? Like, what's the thing you think that makes you guys stand out amongst the rest? And how do you deal with such a difficult market?
I think the thing that helps us stand out is the community that we're building around this theme of post-pandemic golfer because it's such a diverse group of men and women who are golfing. The designs are seasonal, right? Like I'm wearing the Dandy, which was one of the first drops we had, and it's a phenomenal product. And I could talk all day about why our product is the best product in terms of a shirt compared to anybody else there. But that's how people like, are you
Oh, repeat.
For us, we're really,
you're chopping it up real quick.
Okay. Take the question here. Let them hit and we can play through. Just go. Yeah, we'll just go. I'll hit up
there
here.
You go.
Yeah. Where you go? We're gonna
go. Nice. This is great. See, it's pitch black. It's pitch black here in New York, so it's nice to see guys still out on the golf course.
Yeah, I think there's no better place to take the interview. I mean, I didn't want to put it off because at the end of the day, this is the source of inspiration for me. If I didn't love golf, and I didn't love playing with guys who are relatively new to the game, then I don't feel like we would have the customer base. We wouldn't have the community that's like eager to see like what we're putting out there in the world.
Yeah, because I forget what I think I was just doom scrolling on Instagram one night, and one of your page popped up, and I seen it. It's one of those things where you see it and you go back, and then you click on you know what I mean? You click on it and see what it's all about. There was I forget what particular shirt, but one of them caught my eye, and it brought me to the page, and that's when I reached out to you.
A lot of people bookmark us and they try to figure out like if they're going to rock with the brand or not, because there's so many different options. What number you got, Don? Okay, Don and I are going to hit our approach shot.
Okay.
The challenge is a lot of people will bookmark us, but there's 166. There's so many brands out there that a lot of times people will forget about us. And so when you ask me that question about what makes us different, I think it's about really making sure every single customer feels super, super connected to the brand that we're building, because otherwise you'll forget about us as soon as the season is over. This shirt goes, Don's rocking the shirt back here, but that goes. You won't remember that. Okay, you're gonna hit your shot, Don. We're gonna hit some shots for us.
All right, let's see what we got here.
What course are you guys playing at? We're playing at National City over here.
Okay. Let's see here. It's freezing up, I think.
Well, you'll get there. He dropped the ball. Oh, Don, you just needed the video to hit some shots. All right, come on.
Here we go.
Here you go. Hold it right here. You have 166?
Yeah.
All right, I better hurry up.
All right, what club you hitting from 166 here?
Yeah,
what's up, brother?
What's up? I hit a hybrid 4. I don't know what he's going to use.
I don't know, man.
Okay.
I'm dropping.
Let's see what we got here. Beautiful looking course. Camera froze up a little bit here on us, so here we go. Oh.
I pulled it, Don. I pulled it. I saw myself pull it.
Oh, man.
I pulled it.
Oh,
I wasn't ready for the big time. It's all good. The distance was right, but I pulled it.
Yeah, that's my problem with them approach shots. I'm always going left with it. Left or I'm short all day.
Oh. I
nice
think the best thing about city golf courses where we're at.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
I showed it. It's really nice. But you know what, too? I love doing this because there's something special about like having a conversation on the course, and then when you get over the golf ball, it's all business.
Yeah. Yep. For that 10 seconds, it's just about that shot.
It's just about that shot, yeah. I think your Wi-Fi, you got your phone with you, Don? Okay. Keep it with you. Let's walk close.
So the other thing too is like you took a shot at doing the business side of it. You had to take that, you know what I mean? It's something you had to take a risk. You were stepping out of your environment, starting your own business. And so far, it seems like the first year it's been doing pretty good so far.
We have, because the feedback from Bill, us playing golf just like we're doing right now. All
All right, and we're back there after slight technical difficulties. Donald, how'd you guys end up finishing up that round?
So it was a little skins game. I shot 43 on that front nine, and he shot 45. So, I'll take it. I messed up a little bit on my opportunity on the par five, which is what got me a little bit, but it's all good. It was a good time.
Nice. Yeah, man, playing out there in the sunny California, you can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. I mean, days are long right now. Weather's perfect. And, this is the time to get out here and play.
That's awesome. I was, while we took the little break, I went on the website, took another extra look at the shirts and the logo and everything else. I like the lion theme. Obviously, the king with the lion is pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
Thank you.
We were talking before, though, the difficulties of the golf market and what makes you different. And you were saying the community, the golf community that you're involved in. Why don't you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I think what really makes us different is how we go about making sure that customers who are new to golf feel very, very welcome to golf. That's critical because there's a lot of brands out there that are making fantastic products now. They're starting to understand the quality that's demanded by people who are not in golf, who really want high performance materials. But I feel like the product itself is not the separator because we're on product 1.0. And 1.0, I think you're trying to build equity and trust with your customers, right? Like if you're putting crap out there, like no one's going to trust you. So as long as we're putting out a 5-star product, people will grow and trust us for the products we bring out. But I think we'll go even beyond shirts. But what we can't move past is the speed of trust. And that trust is with people who are new to the game. And I personally feel like the nature of golf right now is if you feel very welcome to this game, you will get better at it because it's obviously super difficult. Like you're not, even the guys who, have stories of coming into the game and getting good later in life, it takes a ton of work, takes a ton of discipline and dedication. And if you have a brand that embraces your journey, then I feel like you got a customer that's going to grow with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like kind of how like Rolex is like investing in the next generation because they know like you don't have the money to pay for a Rolex now at like 15 years old. But like if we do things that essentially help you aspire to buy that product later once you, I don't know, have the money to buy it, then you will. You know what I'm saying? So that's my attitude with Kingsmen Golf.
I like it. So, what's your plans for the brand going forward?
I want to say that we want to get to the place where we're selling outside of SoCal consistently. So I think it's obviously on your podcast tonight and in front of your audience because we are introducing products that I believe are going to work all across the country. And right now, because we are starting out, connecting with people who are in SoCal. So most of our audience is Southern California right now. So I think the next step is going beyond SoCal, like get into a place where we have customers in other states who know about Kingsmen. I mean, to me, it's huge that you and I are talking tonight because it's like you're on the East Coast. I'm like, wow, that is something already.
The reach, man. It's all about connecting, networking. Like that's my whole thing I like doing with this podcast. I'm meeting you, I'm hearing your story. I get to meet a bunch of different people from California, Texas, New Jersey. It doesn't everywhere.
What about now?
Yeah, we're good. I got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's because
that's the cool thing about like me.
Go ahead.
It's the cool thing about doing the podcast. Like we said, we're connected from California and New York. I'm getting to hear your story about golf, your brand. Like people up here might not know about Kingsman. So now when they listen to the podcast, they're going to hop on the Instagram. They're going to take a look. They're going to hop on your website. Well, who's Raj talking to today? Like, and that's the thing. I'm talking to so many different people, hearing so many different stories. That's the whole cool thing about this. Making relationships. Like, it's just great. It's really cool. And that's the dope thing about golf. The same thing. You go out to a golf course, and you're making those relationships and building those connections with other people that you can continue to build outside the golf course. And that's the cool thing about it.
I feel like, honestly, if you were here right now, we would just be hitting balls on the range.
Chilling.
Like, I feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, the heart of the brand that I want the audience to feel is like we're on the range and we're just connecting, right? We're working on our swing. We're working on different types of shots, and at the same time, we're just connecting and we're, you know, learning a little bit about each other. So, I think it's kind of perfect that, you know, we got this type of backdrop while we're having a conversation.
Right. It's pretty dope, man. Yeah, I'm usually up here 6 months out of the year, 8 months out of the year looking at snow. So.
Oh, we gotta get you out here, Raj.
Yeah,
you got a couple homies when you come out to SoCal. You got obviously Brian, but you got a few people, man. We'll take care of you.
All right, bet. We'll check it out. Yeah, Athe's my guy, man. He's helped me out a lot with the social media side of things. Like, I don't know how to do. He's like, you know, in the beginning, giving me advice, change your logo, do this, do that, and it helped. It really, like, I switched. My profile picture was the logo that's behind me, and then I switched to the logo that's on the background here, and like I jumped up like 500 followers in like 2 weeks.
That's because crazy.
I got into the algorithm a little bit more, opposed to being blocked out.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like part of this is, you know, the humility to understand that so many people will have their first touch with you online.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you and I met in person, that's one experience, but it's also like, you know, having to understand that so much of the first touch is online these days.
Yeah, it's most everything is, man. Right at the tip of your fingers. That's the crazy thing. Everything's right there at the tip of your fingers. So I usually like to ask 3 questions to. The one thing I did want to say is that I'm always looking at the shirts. They're not just shirts you have to wear on a golf course, man. You can wear these things anywhere. Like, even like I seen the tuxedo shirt and the jet and certain shirts. Like, those are nice, like casual, classy shirts that you can wear out to a dinner or something like that as well. Not just on the golf course.
That's a big thing. You know, Raj, the big part about that is historically, we know we need to look nice when we go to a golf course, right? Like, there's something about getting your shirt looking right, your outfit looking right. It's the type of sport that invites you to look stylish, right? Like, you know, if you think about other sports that invite you to look athletic, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to look athletic. Like, you don't want to show up to play basketball in jeans, right? Showing up to play golf and you're looking like you just, you know, should be mowing grass. That's not going to work, right? The sport, the game, I think invites you to step up your style points. And it invites you also to wear stuff that's performance oriented. But I think what's significant about what you said in terms of the versatility, because that's a big goal of ours, is that we want the culture of golf to really show up outside of the golf course. And right now, I think right now what you actually have is the culture is the opposite. So the culture is like you wear stuff that looks like you just golf. Like, for instance, when I first started, Raj, this is like from like my very first time golfing, before I even had designed anything for the brand, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I need a white visor. So I buy this visor. Now, if I wear this out, if I wear this to a restaurant or wherever, people are like, oh, you golf, right? Like, it's a signal to anyone out there, and it says like, I golf, right? You know what I'm saying? And I want to get away from that. I want to get to a place where it's like you could wear something and people are like, oh, that's just a dope shirt. That's just a really dope like fit. But then you just like happen to like play golf, or you're going to play golf. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it opens up a whole new. If you go that route too, it opens up a whole new buyer base, because then you got the guys who don't golf and they're out there just for the casual look. So it's the way to go, man.
Yeah,
That's what separates you from everybody else.
I think so. I think the big part that really separates us is when we design, we're actually
We're good.
This is the beauty of being on the golf course while doing a podcast. What really separates us, I feel like, is our ability to create products that have a tremendous level of versatility. And when you look at all these other brands that are out there, Raj, I feel like right now they only showcase golf. Like that's it. Like
Yeah.
Example, like when you think about like Biore, when you think about like some of these other brands, Athleta, Lululemon, right? They're showing people doing life in the clothes. So I'm like, why can't I do life in my golf clothes? That's my charge. It's like, can you do life in your golf clothes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I show up to work every day. My golf clothes, then I go right to the course when I'm done.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you and I met in person in New York, right? Like, I don't want to show up and we can't go out to the course after we meet up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I want to be ready. You know how like everybody's like, oh, just be ready. I'm like, let your fit be ready too. Like so be stylish, but like let your fit be ready to go play around.
Yeah, I was a basketball player growing up, man. I always had shorts and sneakers in the car, ready to go. Sometimes underneath my sweatpants back in the day. It's all right, let's go.
Hey, that's it. It's the same way with how we're designing golf clothes. That's what makes us different, man. I feel like, you can go out there and there's a bunch of different golf brands you could buy. Travis Matthews. And there's so many brands, but honestly, I don't feel like any of those brands really work outside of golf.
Right. So I usually like to wrap up with 3 questions, all golf related. What's your favorite club in your bag?
My favorite club right now is my 5-wood. Okay. It's a club that I feel that off the tee, if I catch it the way I want to, I'll travel it about 225. Like it'll carry like 235 for me. And I have a stiff shaft, 75 gram shaft on it, but it's my TSR 3. And I think for somebody like myself, like obviously you start very high handicap, you're shooting over 100. I think the second shot is so critical in your game, like your approach shot. But when you're trying to just break 100, you're just trying to get off the tee. Yeah. And this is my perspective is, now I'm trying to consistently break 90 and stay in the 80s. So I know I'm gonna get off the tee. But break the it's Don is funny. So it's really funny because we're both named Don. But that club is my favorite club because I can get off the tee with the club. So if I have a long 18-hole course that I'm about to play, and I feel like I have a fairway that's not going to allow me to have that type of dispersion, if you will, like where I'm playing a cut that turns a little bit more slicey than I need it to be, I can pull that 5-wood with confidence, and I know I'm going to be on the fairway. I know I'm going to be out there at least 235, and I know I'll at least have an opportunity for a second shot. So that TSR 3 is my favorite club right now.
Nice. Yeah, mine's my 7-iron, kind of for the same reason. It's just my most versatile club. I trust it with any shot. I can hit it a pretty good distance, so like I can make a par 4 and 2 even if I use it. So it's not. It's the one I go to when I can't hit a ball straight. I go grab my 7, choke up if I have to, and let it rip.
There you go. You got to have one in the bag. You got to have one where you just feel like, yo, that's my scepter. That's what, from a Kingsman perspective, we call the tools in the bag our scepters, like a king. I feel like for me, it's that 5-wood.
All right. I like it. And then what's your favorite course you ever played?
Right now, I would say Encinitas Ranch is surprisingly a gorgeous course. I played Torrey, North.
Oh.
I said Encinitas Ranch.
Yeah.
Out here, Encinitas Ranch. Even though I played Torrey, North and South, a few times, and Torrey is some ways because you feel like you're getting to play on kind of the same turf that really incredible golfers play on. But if I'm really honest, Raj, what really changed everything for me was the second time I played golf, which was in Portugal. And that, I know it sounds crazy, but like I did this trip to Portugal because everyone was like, yo, Portugal is where it's at right now. So we went to Portugal in like 2022. And this was my second time playing golf. I had just started really getting into it.
Okay.
And I played a link style course in Faro. And that was just like, it was like phenomenal. I mean, like the whole view situation was amazing. Everything about it was just incredible, man. It was like a course where I wish I had my game.
Right.
But
it's one of those you want to go back to.
Yep. You feel me? Like the funny thing is, even though I didn't have a game, just to be out there playing, I connected with so many things. I connected with just like mental wellness, just being in the presence of such a beautiful course. Wealth, like you're just in a context where it's just like you just feel so deeply fortunate to be in such a beautiful environment playing like this music. And it just felt like if I had to say mine, because it's am I as a human right now on this planet, to be like along the coast of like Portugal, hitting a little golf ball, a little white ball all around this course, and it just blows you away, and you just feel there's something so divine and peaceful about the whole experience that I'll always appreciate.
Yep, makes you appreciate the small things, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep, especially I could imagine the views though out there, Portugal, right on the coast. Those gotta be sick.
Bro, views were crazy. Views were crazy, Rod.
Yeah, I played in Aruba. So kind of the same thing. It wasn't my second time. But
so you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was my second year playing, and me and my girl went down, and we were watching. She went down to like the spa or something. I was like, I'm gonna go play around the golf, and I had to judge the hardest thing for me was the wind because I don't play around the ocean at all. So adjusting to the ball, like I'm trying to aim left, and the ocean's pushing it 60 yards to the right. I'm like, holy shit! So I was like aiming at the other tee box. This one guy I was playing with, he was from South Carolina. He's like, yo, buddy, you're gonna need some tips now. I'm like, I need all the tips I can get, bro. And he helped me out a little bit.
That's crazy.
But it was a struggle. I think I shot like a 120, 125.
But you never forget it. You never forget the experience of shooting out there.
Nope. And then I remember I rented. They were like so much, like the clubs were so much nicer than what I had. I had like a garage sale set at home and shit. So when I got up there, I was like, oh man, look at these nice Callaways or TaylorMades, whatever they were. I'm like, this is great. That's why I sucked though. I was so bad back then. But I went from shooting. I was a lefty baseball player, and I had to teach myself how to play righty golf. So I went from shooting at 125 to where I'm consistently in the 80s now. So it's been a process. 6 years, a long 6 years.
I just started. I broke 100 at the end of last year. I shot 90 for the first time. I did. It was
106.
Yeah, that was a magical day, man. And now I'm shooting so I'm a 16, like a 15, 5, 16, depends on the course. So let's just be generous and say 16. And we'll see, because a lot of what's happening now is just it's going from, like you and I right now, we're connecting. It's going from that to doing a shot, because a lot of times I'm getting the invitation because of what we're doing with Kingsmen to be a part of an event, a tournament, a social. And you have to go from like you're having a great conversation to like, okay, now you got to hit a shot so you can keep up with the group.
Yeah.
And I think the nature of my game was after I broke 100 and I started shooting in the 90s, I'm still kind of a little mechanical, still kind of thinking about the swing on the course.
Mm-hmm.
And now what I'm doing is I'm starting to work with some instructors who are like, let's just get you automatic so that you can like have the conversation, really connect with people on the course,
Mm-hmm.
and then shoot your shot and keep it moving. You know, you're shooting 85, 86 and go have a nice day, you know, because it's really about connecting with people out there.
Yeah, one shot at a time. One shot at a time. And this thing too, like when you're out there with like good golfers, when you go out there and play with like a low handicap golfer, and you see how they swing. They literally, it's just a nice, easy, effortless swing. And they're blasting it 290, 300 down the middle. It's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm sitting there trying to kill it because the baseball mentality. That's my struggles, man. I struggle off the tee bad.
The tee experience, I feel like, is very much akin to even trying to build the brand, because so much of what we were trying to do is like hit that great shot in the first year. And I think there are some brands that they just figure out how to capitalize on the hype, and they're able to do real numbers in the first year. But I think also there's something to be said about dedicating yourself to finding how to consistently deliver season after season.
Yep.
And I think that's the challenge for Kingsmen. It's just like you play 18 holes, you got to get off the tee on a par 3. You got to get off the tee on a long par 4. You got that par 5, and you really want to put your driver, you know, in a good position for your second shot. And I feel like that's what we're doing. We're really just trying to set ourselves up for success in the future.
I think you guys will. I think the way you guys are doing things, I think your designs are going to catch people's eyes like they caught mine. The last question I had for you with the 3 questions was, if you had 3 people to add to a group for your foursome, who would they be? Anybody, dead or alive?
Anybody. Wow. You know, I definitely would say I would grab an old school person who really made golf more accessible for people, like a Charlie Sifford. And I would do that because, you know, so much inspiration for what we're doing comes from people who have paved the way for others to enjoy this game. I think a Michelle Wee would be a phenomenal person to have playing with us. Athleticism, I think, just, you know, there's certain aspects of her character and her intelligence with the game that would just be like one of a kind to experience. And then, you know, I think if I had to add one more person to the mix, it would probably be, you know, somebody who was kind of there at the very beginning when I started playing, which is, you know, my buddy who I played golf with earlier this year, and I started playing with from the Bahamas. Because you remember I mentioned I played with my buddy from the Caribbean. There's something really special about playing with him, because, you know, it just reminds me of why I love the game so much. You know, like how we're talking while we're out there, and you know, looking to hit good shots, and just how we get at each other if we're not hitting good shots. And I mean, there's nothing more I would love to do than to play golf with him once a week. So that would be my foursome.
That's dope. Yeah, that's a nice. Michelle, see, that's one of my favorite questions I've been asking people because I get so many different responses. I obviously get a lot of Tiger Woods or John Daly's, but like the Michelle Wee's one I would have never thought of. I never heard of Charlie Sheffer, so like that's someone I'm
Charlie Sifford.
Sifford, okay. Yeah. When I get off here, I was writing it down. I'm gonna go look them up, do my research.
Great stories.
Cool. Yeah, man. So, where can everybody find you? Don, I really appreciate your time, man. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Oh, first off, we really appreciate Raj getting the chance to show up on the East Coast.
Yeah, man.
It's huge. we're really simple. Kingsmen Golf. That's Kingsmen, golf. A lot of times people misspell it. We're plural, so Kingsmen, like all the Kingsmen Golf.
Yeah.
.com and Kingsmen Golf on Instagram and Kingsmen Golf on TikTok. And for now, follow us on Instagram. I mean, it's so simple. Like, follow us on the gram, um, and we're really building each customer by customer. So we have a small team. We answer every message, just like how you and I met.
Yep.
We take people seriously. We try to show love with our products. So for everybody who's listening, pull up on Kingsman. And if they hear this podcast,
Mm-hmm.
DM us, because we will take care of you. We'll probably have like something we can give out to your audience for no cost, man. Because we want your audience on the East Coast. We want you, Raj, to like experience our products and really fall in love with the brand.
Oh, that's dope, man. I appreciate that. I'm sure the listeners will too. And it's like you said, man, one by one, dude. When I first started doing this, it was one by one, and then like my followers are slowly. I had 150 followers at Christmas. I'm almost at 2,000 right now. I mean, in 6 months, but it's a grind. It's an absolute grind.
I see it as like, be hungry, but don't let the hunger turn into greed.
Yep.
And I think that's the nature of right now. It's like everyone's hungry. All brands that are trying to get their foot in the game, they're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
But the greed comes in when you're trying to accelerate so fast that you miss the opportunity to make sure that like every single person loves what you're doing.
Right.
Like, I mean, not everyone's going to rock with your brand, but like someone who rocks with your brand, like we want to take care of you. Like, you love this product, then I want to make sure I get you the next thing from us and you still love it. Because that's how we'll build over time versus like, to me, the hype is like, that's the hunger turned into greed. It's like you're grinding, but you want to be like overnight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get 100. Yeah, it's like golf. It's like you break. Like I hit 90, and I'm like, yo, that's an accomplishment. And it's like, greedy is like, let me go shoot like scratch. It's like, bro, try to shoot 88 or 89 back-to-back rounds on a course first.
Yeah, keep it consistent for a second. That's what I had a basketball coach back in the day. Shout out Coach Barr. He said one thing to us that always stuck with me throughout life was patience and poise. Like, you stay, like when I don't ever expect to like even be interviewing people when I started doing this podcast, and now like to see the grow. Like, I'm with a network, I have sponsorships. Like, it's to be where I am now. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. But like, I was never expecting it, and now that I'm doing it, like, I'm not expecting to be Joe Rogan. I'm not expecting to do all that. I'm expecting to meet cool people, find out about people's experiences, talk about a little bit about my experiences in the golf world, and like hope to spread the word, like I said earlier, to get your brand out to the East Coast. Like, that's the thing where if they're not on Instagram searching for it, they're probably not going to see it. But there's some of my groups of friends even that they don't go on Instagram, but they listen to the podcast. So it's ways to reach different networks. And then YouTube, I'll have this on YouTube. So like, it's a way to get the name out for everybody. And if we don't work together as small businesses, it's not going to work at all. So we got to work together.
We got to work together. Yeah, I appreciate it, Raj. I'm so happy. I'm happy to jump on again and do a part 2, but hopefully we got some of the stuff on the course, because that was fun.
So I know you mentioned earlier you're going to do seasonal drops. So let's link back up when you do the next drop.
Definitely. End of July is the next drop. We got some fire coming out end of July. So tell everybody, make sure you start rocking with us by the end of July.
Let's do it. Appreciate your time, Don. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll get back to you on Friday with a recap show. Later.
Appreciate you.
Don, appreciate you, man. That was good. Oh, shit.
Thank you so much, man.
No problem, man. Pretty dope with Donald jumping on. Check out Kingsmen Golf, kingsmengolf.com. Check them out on Instagram as well. Tough little. Apologize if there's any audio or technical difficulties on that one. He was out on the golf course. It was video pretty cool. I got to see a few of his shots out there along with his partner. But make sure you guys go and check them out. Let him know the Pitch Putt and Puff crew sent you, and he'll hook you up with a little something. We'll figure it out. some kind of a gift, or we'll figure something out. But he's got some pretty cool merch, pretty cool shirts. Definitely something you can wear outside the golf course. So give him a look. Also, check out 420 Bliss, located at 740 Hoosick Road in Troy, New York, as well as Trouble Off the Tee, troubleoffthetee.com. Promo code RGB for 15% off site wide. Promo code PUFF for buy one, get one free on the polos, and as well as golferscbd.com. Make sure you check out Golfers CBD. What they're trying to do is introducing a range of naturally sourced products, enhancing a golfer's playing skills and capability during their training process, game prep, performance, and relaxation. Developed and produced by golfers and for golfers, used and supported by the performance of professional golfers across the U.S. and Europe. Golfer CBD is manufactured right here in the U.S. Most golfers, they choose their essential gear like clubs, balls, and apparel based on perceived advantages to their game to ultimately save strokes. With these benefits, Golfer CBD is an essential part of a golfer's kit because it helps golfers maximize the most valuable tools, their bodies and their minds. A way to stay focused out there. I know the boys been taking the CBD golfers, the gummies here. Where's my pack of gummies? I got a couple left. The gummies, definitely give them a look. Steve was a big fan of the gummies. He said he found his focus. That's something Steve needs to do out there. And he found his score to be in the 80s for the first time in a long time. Both times this past weekend. Hopefully follows it up on Sunday. But appreciate everybody tuning in to the Pitch Putt Puff podcast. Later.